following program has been paid for by the First Philadelphia Baptist Church. The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Wave Broadcasting or staff and management of WFBR.
Hey, good morning. Shabbat Shalom. This is Rosh Ya'acob and Abraham, representing Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation, Rabbi of Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation, and I'm happy to be with you all today on this blessed Shabbat. Want to thank WFBR for allowing us to use this platform. I want to thank First Philadelphia Church for allowing us to use this platform as well. You can reach their contact with his sister Hattie Jackson. Phone number is 443-467-0416. That's 443-467-0416. Also, other people that's affiliated with First Philadelphia is the International Brotherhood of Yahshua's Disciples. They have a conference number, and they're going to actually have a service today at 10 a.m. And their number is 1-978-990-5362. And the access code is 4070121 pound. That's 4070121 pound. Also, I'd like to mention our congregation, Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation. You can reach us. We have also a online thing that we do. You can meet with us and have service with us. We also have Sabbath school, which starts at 10:30 a.m. And the access and the phone number to reach us is 410-6644-005. And we're located at 3602 Gwen Oak Avenue, and that's in Baltimore, Maryland. So I'm happy to be with you guys today. I'm a little nervous. Please forgive me. It's been a while since I've done this, went live or done anything like that. Also want to give my information as well. If you want to hear more from me, you can see my podcast at Yaakov Abraham, or you can look up My Take with Rosh Ya'acob, and it is on YouTube. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Let's get into this. So this week's Torah portion is called Wayera, right? This week's Torah portion is called Wayera, or some may say Wayera. And Wayera means, and he appeared. And it comes from Genesis chapter 18, verse 1. So if you turn with me to the book of Genesis chapter 18, verse 1. And it says, Wayera alayo Yahweh ba'alenu memre wahu yeshev patach ahal kokam hayom. And that reads, and he appeared. Who appeared? Yahweh, our Elohim, right? And he appeared to him. To who? To appearing to Abraham, right? So he's appearing to him by the temperance of memory. And Abraham, when it says, and he was sitting in the entrance of the tent at the day, as the day grew hot, or in the heat of the day, This is talking about Abraham. Now, what we know from this story is Abraham had just got finished having what we call a Brit Milah. A Brit Milah is a circumcision, right? So Abraham had a circumcision. We know this was in his olden age, right? Where he had this circumcision. And as Abraham had this circumcision, he this was like the third day. They say on the third day is when it's the most painful. We don't remember those days for most of us because many of us had circumcisions as a child, so we don't remember the pain that's entailed in it. But Abraham went through this or performed this mitzvah or this commandment in his senior years. And the idea from this is that if you weren't circumcised, which is a commandment or mitzvah, right, to be circumcised, so you can belong to the community as a whole. If you weren't circumcised at the age you should have been, which is 8 days old, then Abraham's son was circumcised, because remember he had another son named Ishmael at this time. Ishmael was circumcised at the age of 13. And so it's lets you know that you got up to the age of 13. But even if you missed that during your bar mitzvah or ben mitzvah age, if you missed that, then even up to the age of a senior, it's still something that's required. Now, I know there'll be a lot of people that might have debates about that and so forth, and I love those type of conversations, so please feel to reach out. Please feel to reach out. But this is a situation that's going on, so I'm trying to set up the situation that's happening right now. So this is a situation that's going on. It's the worst part of it. He's sitting in a tent trying to cool off and deal with this pain. And it says that the Almighty decides to visit him. Right? This lets us know that when somebody is going through something and they're dealing with different things, that we should want to visit them. We should want to be there for them, to let them know that everything is going to be okay, that we're thinking about them. We always stress this, that a phone call goes a long way, a text message, just something to say, hey, thinking about you, right? But the Almighty decided to do something different. He actually is going to come in and actually commune with Abraham. Look at what the next verse say, verse 2. So we still in Genesis 18. You look at that verse 2, right? It says, Wayasa inayo wayara wahene shalasha anashim. Right? It says, and as he was looking up, he saw three men were standing near him, right? It says, and the word natsavim alayu doesn't just mean standing near him, but it says they were standing above him. It says wayaratz, and he saw and he ran, wayakaratham, and he called to them, mipatak, from the opening or the door of how the tent, right? And he called to him from the entrance of the tent, and he greeted them and bowed to the ground. So Abraham is doing all this, right? This is showing us hospitality. Even in the midst of him going through what he's going through, he still takes time out to show hospitality. He still takes time out to show that I'm going to be concerned about the welfare of my visitors. Now, later on, we're going to see Lot, his nephew, do the same thing, but it's not going to be on the same level, and it's not going to be met in the same way. We're going to see Lot is going to do the same thing, right? So it says, and he said, my masters or my lords, if it please you, do not go past your servant. Right? Do not go past your servant, right? Let a little water be brought. Bathe your feet and recline under the tree. Now, he's about to fix a meal. He's going through this big thing for them. And again, we saw Lot similarly try to do the same thing later on in this portion. We're going to see Lot try to do the exact same thing, right? He says, let me fetch you a morsel of bread, that you may that you may refresh yourselves, then go on, seeing that you have come your servant's way. And they replied, do as you said. Now, y'all know most of y'all are familiar with this story. As all this stuff is going on, Abraham runs into the tent. It says he hastens, he runs into the tent, and he says to his wife, Sarah, quick, 3 seahs of choice flour, need to make cakes, right? So you're going to need to make cakes. It says Abraham ran. So see Abraham running. Now remember, Abraham's in pain. Let's keep this in mind. But it's so important for him to show hospitality to his visitors that even though he's the one in pain, even though they're visiting him because of what he's going through, he's going all out to make their experience with him a blessed one. This shows the righteousness of Abraham, right? It shows hospitality. It says, then Abraham ran to the herd. He took a calf tender and choice and gave it to a young man who hastened to prepare it. Now, in some versions, some people try to translate it as I'm looking at this JPS version of the Torah, Jewish Public Society version of Torah. They try to translate this as he gave it to the servant boy. But it don't say servant boy. It says, Wayatin el Hana'ar, and he gave it to the young man. What young man would he have gave it to? So I believe they purposely try to translate this as servant boy to try to circumvent what we see happening here. What young man is born in a house of Abraham that he would have done this with? It wasn't a servant boy. It don't say the word aved, which means servant, is nowhere in his text. Nowhere in his text doesn't say aved. Right? Oved is the word that means servant, or it also means slave. Right? It means servant. It means worker. Right? Nowhere in this text does it say this, but they translate this in the English as the servant boy. Why? I'm going to help you out with that. This young man that he gave this to say, hey, let's make this meal. I'm showing you hospitality. I'm showing you how to do this. Is none other than his son, Yishmael. It's Yishmael that he's talking to, right? So he says, he gives it to his son. Now, think about it. He has the whole family working. The whole family is involved in this. He's running, doing stuff. He got his wife doing stuff. And then you say, oh, after all that, he's going to run to a servant boy. No, he ran to his son, Yishmael. A lot of times, because people got different points of views that they want to bring out, they try to hide or play something low, like this ain't what's really happening, when we see that it is what's happening. He didn't just go find a random servant boy and said, hey, he's incorporating his whole family in this. He's teaching, not only is he working with his wife who already knows how Abraham does things, but he's showing his son, this is how you do hospitality. A lot of times we don't show our children how you're supposed to do stuff. That's one of the main things, one of the main laws, right? It says, Shema Yisrael, Hail Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Yahweh is Elohim. Yahweh is one. And you shall love Yahweh Elohim with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. Let these words that I command you this day be upon your heart. Teach them to your children. We have to teach the children. We can't just think they just sit here one day and it's just going to pop into them and they just going to know what to do. They not. So when it's a moment like this, when you can sit the child down and say, this is how you deal with this situation. This is how you handle this moment like this. When it's a moment like that, you take hold of it. You say, hey, son, hey, daughter, this is how you supposed, this is how you supposed to do it. I'm sidestepping a little bit, but we complain so much about, oh, it ain't no good men out here. Oh, it ain't no good women out here. Oh, they this, oh, they that. Where they showed how to be this good woman. Were they shown how to be this good man? Did someone sit down and say, hey, this is what you do in this situation? Or did you expect the school system to show it to them? You expect them just to naturally get it? Our children emulate things that we do. Even things that we might not be outright trying to show them or tell them. They sit and watch it and take from it. So we got to keep that in mind. And here we see the perfect example. Abraham didn't just go get some random kid and say, hey, kid, let me show you how to be hospitable. He got his son. At this time, it was his only son. Yitzhak wasn't born yet. We're going to find out about Yitzhak in this meeting that he's about to have with these men that he's going to become aware of soon are not strangers and men, but they're actually angels from the Almighty. So Abraham is showing his son, this is how you do it. How do we know Abraham teach and show this stuff? Later on, we're going to see it with Lot. We're not going to be able to get there, but if y'all read through this Torah portion, y'all going to see Lot is going to do the similar things that Abraham is doing right now. Where did Lot get that from? Abraham. Abraham trained Lot to be this man that he was. So even though Lot went astray, they say, train up in a child in the way it should go, and when it's old, it won't depart far from it, right? And train up this child. Yeah, it might go far, might go astray here and there, but they had this awakening moment, like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I wasn't raised this way. I wasn't shown that this is how it's supposed to be. So anyway, so we got this situation. Abraham is teaching, and we know that he taught this to Lot and others. Everybody is learning from Abraham, and he's teaching it to us as well. This is how you be hospitable. This is how you be hospitable, right? We got the mother of our congregation, Mother Rose, but I'll never forget, we was over her house. She was the one that was going through something. And she's offering stuff. Do y'all want this? Do you want that? Why? Because she knows how to be hospitable. Who taught her that? We all learning from Abraham. Someone come in your house, you want something to drink, you want this, you want to do that. We right there, right? I was like, wow. And as she's doing this with us, and we know what she's going through, right? She's showing us that even in the midst of you going through something, Abraham is in pain. Do y'all understand this was the worst part of it, where they said, were you really in pain? And Abraham is jumping up doing all this stuff to make sure everything is right for these guys. And he don't even know that they're angels. He don't know. He just noticed some visitors, and this is what you do for visitors when they come over. All right, let's go a little further. I'm about to run out of time in a minute. Let's go a little further. Right? It says he took curds and milk and a calf that had been prepared and set these before them. And he waited on them under the tree as they ate. So now he's giving them this food and they're eating it. Now, some people argue, well, angels don't really eat. So they was pretending to eat as to not make him feel bad that he went and did all that stuff, even though they don't need food and sustenance like that. Whatever the case, whether it was pretend or not, they ate the food. That shows that even when you visited people's house, a lot of times that they offer you different things, some people feel like it's disrespectful if you tell them, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. I don't need nothing. No, not this, that. That's all about you. No, they trying to do a mitzvah. They try to perform a good deed. They try to do something that's going to count for them as righteousness, and you are stopping them. You stopping them. No, I'm good. I don't need that. No, you don't got to do all that for me. No. The proper thing to do is say, okay, yeah, thank you. You know, you can say, you know, you going out a lot or whatever, thank you, appreciate you, and so forth, right? Nah, I'm good. You don't got to do all that for me. You know, some people take that as disrespectful. And you stopping them from performing a mitzvah. So look at what he says next. So he says, well, you're mad, Eliel, and he said to him, where is Sarah? Sarah Ishtaka, your wife. Well, you're mad, and he said, Hine, behold, Ba'ahel, in the tent. Behold, she is in the tent, right? She is in the tent. Then one said, right? It says, then one says, while you're mad, Shanav, Ashuv, Elecha, right? Then one said, or then he said, he's saying one, because they trying to change it, because we won't get into that before we close out. It says, then one said, or really is then he said. Not then one said, but then he said. But they trying to show you that this he that's talking is one of the angels. So he says to him, I will return next year, and your wife Sarah shall have a son. Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind him. Now, Abraham and Sarah were advanced in years. Now, remember, because Abraham is a senior right now as he did this, right? Abraham and Sarah were advanced in years, right? And had stopped having, and the way of women had stopped coming before her, right? It says, Watisak. Now, remember, the child is going to be named Yitzhak. Watisak, Sarah, and Sarah laughed, and she laughed. Who laughed? Sarah, right? She laughed to herself, saying, now that I've lost the ability, and I have enjoyment, and my husband is old, now I'm going to get pregnant. Now I'm going to have this child. I did all this stuff to try to make sure I could have this child. And now, at this point in my life, when it seems like everything is over, you tell me I'm going to have a child. Hey, this is laughable. Then look what it says right here. While you're mad at Yahweh, Al-Avraham. Wait a minute. What just happened? This is where people say, wait a minute. You got three. And it says Abraham. Yahweh is talking to Abraham, right? While you're mad, and he, Yud Hey Wahe, Yahweh. And he said, who said? Yud Hey Wahe, Yahweh. Abraham to Abraham. Why did Sarah laugh? Shall I in truth bear a child as old as I am? Right? I love how they translate this. It said, while I'm old, but they got it as old as I am, right? I'm not going to have a child, right? So now we see that Yahweh is talking. And I want to close up on this part. I wanted to really delve with this part, but I went the way where the Ruach was leading me. But this part right here is where people would say, okay, we got the Trinity. Got the Trinity there. Go right there, the Trinity, right? Wrong answer. You might say, what you mean wrong answer, Ak? It said it was 3 people that visited him, and now it says Yahweh is the one talking to him. So 3 in 1. There it is. No. Now you say, why? Why are you saying no? What do we always say when we go to study or learn something? What do we say? When 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, there you will be in the midst. There you will be in the midst. Right? When we study, we say, when 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, there will be. How many people came to visit Abraham? 3, right? And let's go back up to what it called them. Let's go back up, because people get this confused. We're going to go all the way back up to verse 1. Now check this out. Wayera alayo, and he appeared to him. Yud Wahe Yahweh, right? It says Yahweh appeared to him by Aloni Mamre in the tents or in the temereth of Mamre, right? I mean, by Elohim, Elohim, Yahweh Elohim, Mamre, in Mamre, right? So Wayera alayo Yahweh by Elenu. And Yahweh Elohim appeared to him in Mamre. And look at this part right here. Let's see what it says, as it goes, because it says that he was in a tent of meeting. So Yahweh came to visit him in a tent of meeting. But look what it says. Wayasha anenu wayara wahene shalash anashim. And he saw 3 men appearing above him. Would that go against the text right there, right? Because what it says, Yahweh is not a man. Say he saw 3 men. Wahene shalasha anashe. Right? And he saw 3 men. Let's look at this. Let's go to the next part. All right. He saw 3 men standing by. One of our greatest commandments that the Mashiach told us was Yahweh is one. One. So we can't divide that 1 into 3. We can't divide that 1 into 2. 1 means 1. This is a mystery. This is a deep mystery. Right? So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave you hanging. I know Zacane Scott will be angry with me for leaving you guys hanging like that. But I'm going to leave you hanging like that for the next time when I appear on here. And we're going to go into this idea of the Trinity. Right? We're going to go into this idea of the Trinity. All right. So with that being said, we want to go and do our closing out again. So again, I want to thank Sister Hattie Jackson from First Philadelphia Church. Thank her and the pastor of that congregation as well, and all that they do. Keep their family in prayer. Thank the International Brotherhood of Yahshua's Disciples, who also works along with us, and just want to keep them in prayer. Also, again, we are Gethsemane Spiritual Temple Congregation. You can contact us again at 3602 Gwen Oak, Baltimore, Maryland. And we really appreciate that. You can go on our website, sabbathkeepers.org, and you can find a link on the website, sabbathkeepers.org. You can go on that website and you can find that exact link. I was trying to look for the link so you can be able to get on our Sabbath school lesson and also our service as well. But you can go straight to that website and click on the link and it will take you there. Unfortunately, my time is short. Like the troublemaker told me to let y'all know he's going to be coming at y'all. Y'all know who that is. That's our brother, Minister Carlos Thomas. He said, let y'all know, get ready, the troublemaker's on his way. But anyway, my name is Rosh Ya'acob ben Abraham. You can find my podcast on YouTube, My Take with Rosh Ya'acob. Thank y'all again. Appreciate you for allowing me to be here with you. Enjoy the rest of your Sabbath day. Shabbat Shalom.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Elohim